Hello, and welcome back. We're working on the C20 again, and right now we're about to rip out the interior. We already got the seat out, and we're going to be pulling out the carpet next. We also have the vacuum ready, because you know how it is with these old cars. We're removing the door sill kick plates first. Well, what's left of them, because they're pretty much rusted already to pieces, and we're going to be ordering a new set of them. As you can pretty much guess, you know that pretty much every single Phillips head screw was stripped out on these door sill kick plates. So we like these side mirrors, so we were going to test and see if the glass was any good because there was some sort of residue or overspray on them. So we scraped away at it with a little bit of a razor blade, and as you can see, it's cleaning right up. With that coming off, we consider that a win, and then we're going to get them removed from the doors. Now the next step is I'm going to be removing the carpet, and we're going to make sure that we can get everything off without cutting any wires that they're underneath there. I like to use a new razor blade because if you use a dull one, it's basically not going to cut through very easily. Now I'm pulling on it gently because I'm actually trying to save the rug so I can use it as a template when I cut out the brand new rug to put it in. Like I said, I'm taking my time ripping out the carpet because it's not something that you want to do wrong. Because sometimes people can have wires glued to the bottom of the carpet accidentally when they use contact cement to glue their carpet in if they glue it. Now this is a moment I've been waiting for. I want to see the reveal of what's underneath this actual carpet. This is when you find out if there's something underneath there, like actual flooring, or if you're screwed and you have a whole bunch of rust. So it looks like they actually glued the carpet over the original vinyl flooring, which is not the best thing, and then there's original foam underneath there, or seems like original foam, but I wouldn't really know. Now the vinyl flooring is so old it actually rips up by just barely pulling on it. Alright, as you can see there, basically the floor is rotted out and they have this patch in there which is riveted, which we're going to pull that up. It doesn't even look like it's a steel compound. Maybe it is steel, I don't know, maybe galvanized. We're going to pull that right up. It doesn't matter to me what it's made out of, but we're going to remove that. We have some fresh patch panels to go in there, and we're going to cut it back to some good clean metal, and we're going to repair this cab. Alright, so we're pretty much checking out how our shifter bolts in right there so we can get the rest of the carpet trim out of there at some point. But we're pulling out the driver's side carpet too at this point. So we're pretty much getting all this carpet out and we're going to see how the driver's side is. I have pretty much an inclination that the toe board is rotted out, but we'll find out right now once this carpet's out. And And this is why I say don't be in a hurry when trying to remove your carpet. As you can see here, the wire is glued to the bottom of the carpet, so we're going to have to cut the wire so we can make sure that we can actually splice it back into it or run new wire if we need it. All this foam is moist because all the water has been running down and getting caught in it. Now I'm going to vacuum out a little bit of the rust that's trapped inside the rocker, but we're going to be cutting these out anyway. Alright, I'm using some PB Blaster. I'm going to spray these screws and then I'm going to remove them so I can get these mirrors out of the way so that when I go to paint the car, they're not on there. With them out of the way, I can also finish the bodywork on the door. Next thing I'm doing is taking off the cowl panel. This way I actually can take off these emblems before it's painted. So the antenna is a little stuck in there, so we're actually going to just cut the cord and then maybe possibly repair it or just get a new antenna. Now we can see what the original color of this vehicle was. It's basically like a greenish color, which I can look up the factory color in a little bit of time, so I can't give you the exact, but at this point we're going to remove these emblems so I can get it ready for paint, or even in the bodywork phase. But right now I just like to remove them because you don't want them on there when you're doing your priming or anything else. I don't want to snap the studs on the emblem. We're going to remove these nuts now. Now that it's out, we can set it aside and we're going to decide if we're going to reuse them, refinish them, or just go with an emblem delete. But I'm going to reset these nuts on there so I don't lose them ever, and we can actually sell or keep these, whatever we want to do with them, or reuse them once we refinish them. Sometimes I like to sell some of the used parts that I have available on my eBay page if you want to go check it out. The next thing I'm removing is these turn signal bezels. The next thing I'm doing is removing the tailgate and prepping for the new tailgate to go on. Now I found this donor from a C10, and I'm going to be using a piece of the old tailgate to fix the new one. Make sure you don't lose those bolts. The next thing I'll be removing will be the taillights. Make sure you set these aside somewhere where they won't get broken if you're working on a truck too. Next, I'm going to be taking off this tough shield, which I'm going to remove all the screws and bolts holding it in. Then I can finally see what the bed looks like underneath. What I'm doing is grinding off the heads of the bolts that are stuck in there. This way we can still remove the liner. Now the bed's not in terrible shape, but it could be in better shape, so I'm going to replace it with diamond plate, and we're going to leave it for the rough and rugged look, but we're going to also clean it up to make sure it still can match what we're trying to go with. Now I'm working on the spacing for the tailgate, and this way we can straighten that out so it matches the other side. I'm using a wood piece of steering stick, which will help me measure out what distance I need, and I can bang out the highs, and then we can deal with the lows with pulling those out with my stud puller. As you can see here, I'm starting to take out some of that high edge. The hard part is I can't get my tools in there. There's not enough space, so I'm going to use the edge of it and try to get in there as much as I can. Look at it by eye. Use my measuring stick where I measured out how far the gap was on the opposite side, and this is what we're going to match. As you can see here, I got my gap all the way lined up in this area that originally was too high. Now I'm going to pull some of the dents out, and then I keep doing this process until I'm happy. Now we are using the wire wheel, and we're going to clean up the bed of this truck before we start welding up and doing anything else we want to do to dress it up before we get ready to paint it and everything else. We're at the end of the video now. Remember to like and subscribe, I appreciate it. If you're interested in seeing more videos, I post ones just like this almost every week.